In this video, we created Miku's Brookhaven, the Miku-Haven. We completely modified Brookhaven, hosted a Hatsune Miku concert, and even had a giant monster show up. To modify Brookhaven, I'm here in Roblox Studio because basically, we have this search tool that, if I type Miku, will bring up a bunch of random items with that name. For example, a Miku Coca-Cola can that literally has her face printed on it, a giant 3D model of Hatsune Miku, and even an item that changes Brookhaven's sky to one featuring Hatsune Miku with a really funny face. Using all these items, we can create the ultimate Hatsune Miku Brookhaven. So let's start with that giant Miku. Since this 3D model is huge, we can place it somewhere really visible, like on the Brookhaven mountain. I'll rotate Miku so she's looking toward Brookhaven and position her right here in the middle of the mountain. Now, let's scale her up a little more. And there we go, a giant Miku statue, kind of like the Christ the Redeemer statue or the one in New York. And since we're already taking some inspiration from New York, I'm going to replace this fountain here with a Coca-Cola can. So let's delete this old Brookhaven fountain and make this Miku Coca-Cola can super big. I'll place it right in the center and scale it up even more. And honestly, I'm really curious, does this Miku Coca-Cola actually exist? Let me know if you've ever seen a Hatsune Miku Coca-Cola for sale. Another interesting thing I found is this sign. As you guys know, in regular Brookhaven, there are these signs everywhere, so it makes sense to replace them with Hatsune Miku signs in the same locations as the original ones. I just noticed that there's even a tiny Hatsune Miku on top of this sign. To make her easier to see, I'll rotate the sign like this. I also just found a Hatsune Miku TV, and you can see it's playing some kind of music video, so I'll use this TV as a billboard and place it on top of the stores. As you guys know, in Japan, this kind of thing is super common, so it makes total sense to have tons of Miku billboards here. I'll add more billboards on top of the Brookhaven Hospital and more on top of the Brookhaven Market. For Brookhaven to feel more like a modern city, just like in Japan, I'm going to add some skyscrapers. As you can see, there are plenty of them here in Roblox Studio, so I'll pick the best ones to place in our Brookhaven. I found this building that is absolutely massive. Just look at the size of it. So, I'll have to scale it down a bit so we can actually see it properly inside Brookhaven. And of course, I'll add several other skyscrapers to have a good variety of buildings in this area. Now, going back to the Brookhaven logo, you can see it doesn't really match Hatsune Miku's colors. Since her color scheme is blue, gray, and black, I'll replace these green blocks with blue ones. I'll also add a stone texture to make our Brookhaven look nicer. For the white blocks, I'll apply the same texture but change them to black instead, because I think black and blue look way better together than that pale white. Besides that, I'll remove these objects from the lobby and place this Hatsune Miku stage here instead. I'll position the stage right next to the Coca-Cola can and make it a bit bigger. And of course, I'll put Hatsune Miku herself on the stage. Let's place her front and center and scale her up a little so she's more visible. I'll also add a microphone for her to sing, and naturally, the microphone has to match her size. Right in front of the stage, I'll place the audience. Now, they don't look too different from each other, but they'll do the job. So let's rotate our bacons to face the stage and duplicate them to fill up the crowd. Next, I want to modify some of the structures, like the Brookhaven police station. The helicopter will be replaced with this Hatsune Miku spinning ride. There's also this other Vocaloid character that I don't recognize, so if you know her name, let me know in the comments. In addition, I'll repaint the Brookhaven police station to better match Hatsune Miku. I'll go ahead and update all the missing details, including the station's carpet and sign, making sure the police station fits the Hatsune Miku version of Brookhaven. As for the Brookhaven daycare, I'll be deleting it from here because I want to turn this area into a parking lot. I even found a Hatsune Miku bus, so I'll add it here along with some billboards. Of course, these billboards will be a little smaller. I want this area to feel like the entrance to Miku's concert, so I'll place security guards right at the entrance. I'll also add these metal detectors to make sure people can't bring weapons or anything like that. And finally, I'll set up these fences, which are commonly used at concerts for different bands and artists. Now, I'm going to duplicate this fence until we can surround the entire event that Hatsune Miku is hosting. In this parking lot, I'll place this car here. Seriously, could anything be more Miku-themed than this? Impossible! As you can see, it's literally a car with invisible wheels, and you can even see Miku's underwear from here. Of course, when we test our map, we'll check if this car actually works. Now, let's turn Brookhaven's grocery store into an official Hatsune Miku shop. Starting with the exterior, I'll paint some areas in Miku's signature blue. I only painted a few details in blue because we're still going to add some decorations inside the store. For example, this Miku plushie will serve as the store sign. I'll make it much bigger like this, and where it says grocery, I'll change it to Miku's store. Now, inside the shop, we'll need a big renovation because some of these items are completely unnecessary, like these pizza slices, all these refrigerators, and of course, all these fruits. I'm even going to remove the store's flooring and replace it with something that looks more like a carpet. But since this is a Hatsune Miku store, I'll paint the entire carpet blue. I'll also paint this wall white and remove this door from Brookhaven. Now, we can start adding the Hatsune Miku-themed items inside the store. First, I'll place employees dressed as Hatsune Miku, as if wearing the outfit were mandatory here. So, I'll put this employee right at the checkout counter where he'll ring up our purchases. It's funny how this Miku model is so oversized that it barely fits here. On the counter, I'll add these Hatsune Miku mouse pads. I think they look really cool and that someone would definitely buy them in an official Miku store. And of course, no store like this would be complete without action figures, so I'll place several on this shelf. I was thinking of using a smaller version of this statue, kind of like an amiibo for the Nintendo Switch or a Funko Pop figure, you know? I'll also add some Hatsune Miku plushies here because I'm sure a lot of people would love to have one. And down here, I'll place this special collector's edition figure of Hatsune Miku where she's dressed in a kimono. I'll also add this action figure in a life-size version, making it the store's centerpiece. This is actually really common in anime merchandise stores. Now, we just need to duplicate all these Hatsune Miku figures and place them on different shelves. And well, I think the Miku store turned out pretty cool. I even added more Miku figures over there. But honestly, even after all these changes, I still feel like the map needs a bit more blue. So, I'll repaint the white road markings in blue. This way, all the streets will have a bit of Miku's color, making it even clearer that this is Hatsune Miku's Brookhaven. I think I've covered all the streets, and now we just need to paint them like this. In addition, I'll also paint the Brookhaven arch in Hatsune Miku's signature blue. Not even this slide is going to escape being modified. I also want to change the Brookhaven sky, replacing it with this anime-style sky. Oh, and something super important that I almost forgot. I need to add Godzilla here, because if you play Fortnite, you know very well that Godzilla being Miku makes no sense at all. And of course, not only will I add Godzilla, but I'll also give him Hatsune Miku's hair, which will make him look way more stylish. Okay, now we're inside Mikuhaven, and it turned out even better than I expected. I honestly didn't know that these billboards were animated, so that made everything look even cooler. There are screens all over the map, which gives our Brookhaven a much more modern city feel. For example, I also placed other posters that move, making them look like the kind of ads you see during a concert. And this little billboard right here, it looks awesome. Now, about the Miku store, as you can see, it turned out amazing. I also added some boxes as if someone had just bought some of these Miku action figures, and as you can see, all the action figures look really cool on the shelf. There's a small one and a bigger one here, which looks super nice. While you guys weren't watching, I also placed this Miku statue where the Brookhaven Mall was. For some reason, it got deleted while we were modifying the map, so now there's this super cute chibi Miku statue here. And now, let's check out the Miku concert we built. To get in, you need to come right this way. In case you forgot, this area is kind of like a garage filled with Miku-themed cars, which, by the way, look a lot like race cars. There's also security heavily armed with, well, with an item I probably shouldn't name. But basically, if you want to enter Miku's concert, you just go through here. And if you want to watch the show, just stand with the audience, and at any moment, she'll start singing, I think. And now, for what everyone's been waiting for, the Miku car. So, to drive it, if I'm not mistaken, you need to stand somewhere around here. Let me check. Oh, we're literally on top of Miku, like she's actually the car. You can see that it has visible wheels, and we can drive it pretty well. It's actually really fast. So, if you want, you can explore Mikuhaven much quicker, just with a few crashes along the way. But that's it, guys! The video ends here. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and check out the other videos around here. Thanks for watching till the end, and see you in the next video!